On June 13, 2026, the state of Ohio witnessed a series of significant government actions spanning enforcement, legislative reform, and public celebration. The day was marked by a major federal enforcement initiative targeting fraud, critical legislative developments regarding family rights and medical gender transition regulations, and the kickoff of a statewide celebration honoring the nation's 250th anniversary. The most prominent enforcement action of the day was the announcement by the United States Department of Justice regarding the launch of a statewide fraud enforcement initiative in Ohio. This operation targeted individuals allegedly involved in fraud schemes totaling more than $50 million. As part of this initiative, the Department of Justice unsealed indictments against 14 people. The action demonstrated a coordinated effort between federal authorities and state partners to combat large-scale financial crimes affecting Ohio residents. While the Department of Justice is a federal entity, the initiative was explicitly designated as a statewide effort within Ohio, highlighting the severity of the fraud cases and the commitment to holding those responsible accountable. In the legislative arena, the Ohio General Assembly continued its work on several bills that would significantly impact family rights and medical practices. The Senate General Government Committee, on Tuesday, June 13, adopted a substitute version of House Bill 472, known as the Cockley Salvo bill. This legislation would require voters casting absentee ballots to adhere to specific identification requirements, aiming to enhance the integrity of the absentee voting process. The bill was sponsored by committee members and had been under review for several weeks, with the committee's decision marking a key step toward its potential passage. Another major legislative development was the introduction of the Affirming Families First Act, House Bill 693, by GOP state lawmakers Gary Click and Josh Williams. This extensive bill sought to restrict the actions of local agencies, doctors, nurses, social workers, and other entities against parents or guardians who reject a child's gender identity. The act would provide broad protections for parents from being investigated for abuse or neglect, or from facing custody decisions based solely on their affirmation of a child's sex rather than their gender identity. The bill also included measures to block child welfare agencies from screening children for sexual orientation or gender identity, and from maintaining databases based on such information. Additionally, the act proposed to strike down local conversion therapy bans. The bill was supported by 13 other GOP lawmakers, but had yet to receive its first hearing. The introduction of this bill reflected the ongoing debate over family rights and medical gender transition regulations in Ohio. The legislative process also saw the court system address the existing House Bill 68, which had been enacted in 2024 to ban minors from medical gender transition treatments. The bill was working its way through the court system, with the courts considering its implications and potential challenges. The ongoing legal proceedings highlighted the complexity of the issue and the need for careful consideration of its impact on minors and families. In the public events category, the Ohio Department of Natural Resources announced a series of America 250 celebration events to honor the nation's 250th anniversary. The events included a Freedom in Nature, Wildlife and Heritage Walk at Alum Creek State Park, and an America 250 kayak cruise at Madison Lake. These activities were scheduled for Saturday, June 13, 2026, and were designed to engage the public in celebrating the nation's history and heritage. The events were part of a broader statewide effort to commemorate the 250th anniversary and foster a sense of community and pride among Ohio residents. The day also saw the continued work of the Ohio Supreme Court, which on May 19, 2026, had adopted amendments to the rules of superintendents for the courts of Ohio, including new civil commitment forms. These amendments were effective on May 19, 2026, and marked a key step toward enhancing the court system's procedures and practices. The ongoing work of the Supreme Court reflected the court's commitment to improving the administration of justice and ensuring the fairness and integrity of the legal system. Overall, June 13, 2026, was a day of significant government action in Ohio, with major enforcement initiatives, legislative developments, and public celebrations highlighting the state's commitment to addressing critical issues and fostering community engagement. The actions of the Department of Justice, the General Assembly, the Supreme Court, and the Department of Natural Resources demonstrated the state's dedication to upholding the law, protecting the rights of families, and celebrating the nation's history. The day's events underscored the importance of collaboration between federal and state authorities, the need for careful consideration of legislative reforms, and the value of public engagement in fostering a sense of community and pride.